Well, definitely, security has taken most of our time here, and we imagine that it's going to take a large chunk of the time of plenary when it eventually convenes today. But we believe that there will be other matters that you'll be discussing, which are important to Nigerians. Do you think that the current fuel scarcity or no scarcity, it's been on and off, it's difficult to know whether or not, this is something that's going to keep lingering, whether the matter has really been resolved. But is this something that the House of Reps will be considering?
The thing is that when we were on recess, remember, the Senate also had to call back some of its officials in that committee, and it included some members of the House Committee on Petroleum, either upstream and downstream. They sat together to see how we can resolve the issues, and it's a continuous thing. Today that we are resuming, we expect to have reports of some of these meetings that were held, and we look at it. If it's possible that we come out with something more tangible, I think we should be able to do that. As I was coming this morning, I saw a very serious queue, and it's really worrisome because we are Nigerians who brought us to this place, so we should be able to go back to the plenary and tell Nigerians that, look, this is what we witnessed. Well, what can we do together to see that this thing is resolved? Because the major problem of this fuel too is that every day you find people holding the product, and they keep uncovering it, and people give excuses that this is done by black marketeers and what have you. But I think we wait for the report. That will be better.
Well, of course, we'll be looking forward to that report. But from your own assessment, and I'm sure you're allowed to express your personal opinion, we, as much as Nigerians might be celebrating, or in some quarters, that, the price of crude is improving. The chances are also high, if we're in a semi-deregulated market, that perhaps the question is about the increase of the pump price of petrol. Is this something that the House of Reps will consider?
I think today I read in the papers it's about it was up to $70 per barrel, and that's an increase. We will look at it because eventually when we propose in the MTEV and since we have not passed the budget, we'll look at it and see how it could be helpful in trying to when the budget consider the budget situation. I think we will look at it. We will know. Even last time, when the government we had to increase about $2 on the barrel of crude oil. But this time around, it has increased even beyond what we thought we were going to the benchmark. So I think it's something that will not jubilate now, because the crude oil thing is something that
it's actually volatile.
Volatile. It could crash tomorrow, and as I leave this place, a different story will come forward. But we will be monitoring it, because we have to monitor and see how long it takes and what was the revenue that was generated and what is the implication, and that will be discussed, I can assure you that.
Yeah, it's implication, especially for, the price of petrol in Nigeria, since most of our refineries are still not working, and the fact that we still have to import petrol, the chances are high that if the commodity crude is improving, then the refined products as well will also be improving. Do you think that the House of Reps will be recommending total deregulation?
Well, I think one of the recommendations that we have always been talking about is to find our own refineries working, which is very important. No matter what kind of measures you put in place, the better option for Nigeria is to have our refineries working. How it will come out, I don't know, but I think that is the best way forward, because smaller countries that are not producing as much as we are have refineries that are working, and ours is not working, we're always importing. So I think whatever measure we take, let's having a workable and functional refineries locally will have solved this queue we see. And I think with really support from other stakeholders in the government of the day, we should be able to overcome that.